Well, now I'm going to paint a mallard beak and legs. This is a drake. I've also got a female mallard that I don't have a paint schedule for, so I'm going to try to do the best on that. It's weird. I got a scheduled book, and that one page has been torn out or something. It's missing. So I'm going to attempt to do it just by sight, which shouldn't be too much trouble. I don't know if I'm going to get the subtle hues or anything, but I should be able to, as far as the female mallard, get it pretty close. And I'm going to be using an airbrush instead of the sable brush like the paint schedules that I've got for this bird call for. So we're going to do the best we can. I'm just tearing pieces of tape off. It's just general masking tape. And if you want to get real close, you might even want to use scissors to get right up against it or whatever. It just helps with cleaning. And you'd be surprised what you can do with a Q-tip and lacquer thinner as well. But yeah, I'm just going around, tearing little bits off. Go all the way around, go underneath. This helps a little bit. Helps with cleanup. Right in here, where there's like a point right there at the top of the beak. A lot of times I'll get the one corner of it up like that. There we go. Well, there we go. Got it taped good enough. Don't look real pretty, but it does the job. Now we got to do the legs. Or we can do one at a time. Do the head and then tape the legs and then paint the legs. It's whatever you feel like doing. Okay, now I got a little tape. Of course, you want to try to go around the legs if you can. I have to move some feathers away. Yeah. That would be good enough right there. You can't see it, it's good enough. Same thing to the other side. Just a real short piece of tape enough to go around the girth of the leg if it's sticking out enough. You got feathers in the way. You get the idea. Put tape around both of the legs just to keep overspray off the feathers. Makes your job a little bit easier. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but our main colors are yellow. In this case, it calls for cadmium yellow. I think I got yellow ochre. That might work. So you've got yellow, black, and red, and that's your main colors. That's what you've got. You can see a little bit better here in, like, say, yeah, see that one? You can see a little bit of the, you can see the yellow, the black, and the red. You can see it all. Okay, well, I got yellow ochre. And it's going to go on pretty heavy. Don't have to worry so much about the nail. The nail's black anyway. I'll turn my air pressure down so I can get a little bit more uniform spray and make it a little bit easier to apply, That looks pretty good to me already. And you can almost see where the red goes. It almost looks like it's red, even though it's not red, if you know what I mean, like right here in the bill. But so I've still got my yellow ochre. And the paint schedule calls for a medium coat on the feet. And a lot of times this goes straight orange because it's the orange is opaque anyway. It just covers up a lot of stuff. But it says to put a medium coat of yellow ochre on the feet. So that is what I'm doing. Just a good medium coat. You get on this side real good. And turn my paint down and I can't even hardly tell it's coming out, but keep you from putting it on too stout, I guess. Which getting close to doing that already. So you got a little bit of red, like around the nostril, below the nostril. You see little hints of it, but not all the way down to the nail. So basically, the whole upper, you can see it, but it's vague. So you can almost probably use orange instead, and then go ahead and paint your legs. Probably good enough. But I've got red, so I'm gonna got my pressure down, still kind of low. Maybe thin my red down a little bit. I shouldn't have any trouble just vaguely getting this. Yeah, about like that. And that's it right there. That's about the size of it. Then you do the other side the same way. It's below the nostril. Just to give a little bit of vagueness there. But it looks like for black on the nail, you can probably almost use a Sharpie pen. But just turn your airspray down real low. Try to keep it where it's supposed to be. It looks pretty good right there. Oof. We got a little bit out of it, but pretty much done with the black, except it does cause for a little bit like going around kind of like that. Yeah, about like that. And the same thing to the other side. So just right there along the front part of it. Okay, then like around below the nostril, I think, a little bit. Just add a little shading there. A little shading. And I believe that's it. Yeah, it looks like there's a little right here along the upper part of the, just like that. Kind of like bring it out up top, right up here up front. Right in here. Just like that. That's it right there. So now I've just got vivid orange. Let's keep things simple as possible. And this color really goes on. It's a strong color. The vivid orange is. I guess you could say the yellow, putting the yellow on probably at least made it where it's a brighter foot. Yeah, because you're going over a, relatively light color is going over a relatively light color that covered up a dark color. So oh, I think those legs really good, all the way up to where your tape is. Just make sure you get all that real good, You can pull the tape off, clean up the overspray, and we're done, man. Now, I've already got quite a few videos on how to mount one, so just every now and then I'll finish one out that's a different duck. Like here's a Mallard. I hadn't finished out a Mallard yet, so. I'm not trying to opaque out this orange just a little bit with a little bit of white. I don't know. It just looks a little bit. I should have went over it with yellow first. It changes the value a little bit. It seems like if you go over with yellow first, that's probably the best option. I just got my yellow ochre and the medium coat. Do it just like we did on the Drake, And sometimes that yellow stands out a little bit through the orange. When they start using brushes and stuff like that on them. But we're not going to get into all that. Just a medium coat all over the. All over the feet. All you gotta do. Both of them. I went ahead and put a little bit of yellow over it again. Now I got orange again. I'm gonna go over the legs too. The legs aren't quite as orange as like on a Drake. They're not as vivid. So basically, I'm just gonna control my orange a little bit more, and not put it on so loud. And that's basically it. Put orange on, but not as vivid. Basically, put orange on, but not as vivid. I guess about a third is vivid or something. It's not as bright. I guess it wouldn't hurt to let the yellow shine through a little bit. That's enough right there for that one. It's almost too much, compared to what I've seen. Just a little bit. You want to overdo it. They're not quite as good as a Drake. They're not as bright. In the ballpark, but not. Anytime you spray away from the body, that helps as far as, overspray. So I got my black again. I'm going to do my nail. Some people use a Sharpie pen. There's a little design in between. I can actually see it. I purposely painted it bright enough where it wouldn't stick out that much. In between there, a little bit of a, it varies a little bit from duck to duck. That darkness in between them. Now kind of, there's usually some up here too, kind of like on the Mallard. Got like that right there, and then right kind of coming off the nail a little bit at the bottom, there's a little bit right there, and fades out right there. A little bit on this side, there's the same thing, the very bottom kind of fades out. Let's see what else we got here. That seems to be pretty much it. That looks good to me. You got a little. Wouldn't go too dark with it. Leave it just like that. I tend to stay maybe just a little bit in between the toes on both sides, and I stay off the toes because they're naturally kind of bright. But I do go in between them a little bit on both mallards, females and the males. Got my black again. Going to go a little bit in between the toes. You might go a little bit on the toes, probably depends on your duck, I guess. Reference materials. That's good enough for me right there for the female. Here I've got my black again. And basically what I'm going to do is just go in between the webbing. I'm not even going to go up onto the toes at all. A little bit like that. I'm going to get crazy with it. Yes, yes. And that's it right there. Almost too much anyway. And I do the back the same way. Just a little bit right in the middle of the padding. I'm not going to mess with the toes at all. There we are. Okay, I've got a little bit of satin sheen gloss. Just paint all over the legs. Front and back. Try not to miss anything. Oh shit, I forgot to paint the toenails. We can get those with a brush, or we can get those a little bit later. Okay, yeah, you can see the beak for the female mallard. Go ahead and put some gloss on it also. Yeah, also the feet. I think I already showed you that. Go ahead and yank the tape off, and it's come off anyway. So I'm going to stay with the hoop. Had some overspray, so I wiped it off real good. And make sure you get all the way around. Overspray is kind of a pain, but it comes off real easy with micro thinner, like a paper towel or a Q-tip. If you do that, it'll come right off. That goes for the legs too. Yep, got that stuff coming right off. Put a little bit on a paper towel or a Q-tip or anything. And this we go. And there we are. Look at that. Good as new. I need to get an X-Acto knife, even. Do all your eyes on your other ducks too. Your other duck. What I'll do is I'll just give it a good little pop of spray there, you know, to get it on there. There you go. That livened it up. Brought the people out, everything. And you can do it to the other duck as well. Do a good nice and wet little short gloss. And he is done. See how it brings out the pupil. Sharpie pens come in handy for a lot of stuff. You might paint these toenails up real good, you know, if you want to. Or at least the ends of them, you know. So easy. And some of these birds around the eyes, you know, they got a little bit of something sticking out, like downy or something. This bird's not bad, but some of them are. You can just sharpen that stuff in. Do it on my wood ducks and everything else. But we're done. We are done with them.